Cuffing season's here, but men aren't playing anymore. They're done with the drama and fake crying. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at women crying because men have decided to be done entertaining them. So make sure to sit back, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Oh, and it starts when exactly?
Towards the end of the year, like we're in September, so the cold season, really.
Ah, so we really had that in Chicago then, because it gets cold. Paige, is she right?
Halfway. Like
Halfway. Okay.
yes and no. Can I explain? Sure. So basically, she said end of the year, but I start in like September, October, before Halloween, because that's when costumes come in play and there's coupling there. So I like to get a head start and start with October and then get into the end of the year. So you there.
Thank you.
Yeah, just head start.
Okay. I like this. I need a little more help. So Shani, our co-executive producer, is a cuffing expert, apparently. Shani, what you got to add to that?
I would say I'm guilty of cuffing multiple times, but I do like to start the end of September.
Right.
Okay.
And then I make sure that I have a good person to keep me warm during those months.
Correct.
And then I pretty much end the season around April, because that's when it gets warm.
And the season as in end the relationship.
In the season and the relationship. Correct.
Yes, correct.
Because then you got to do, what is it?
Because you restart. Hot girl
and
summer,
there
and then you
go.
restart the next season.
These girls treat guys like a new dress for winter, then end up disposing of them whenever they don't feel like they need to be with them anymore. I mean, if you want something to keep you warm during the winter, then get a comforter instead of a decent guy who is willing to spend time with you.
I do not want a boyfriend, but I am taking applications for a situationship. Not even a situationship. It is a temporary boyfriend. I'm taking temporary cuffing season boyfriend applications, okay? And this is what here's are the qualifications, okay? You got to have a mustache. Maybe a burst fade, maybe a mullet. Not really a mullet, because that's like, but a burst fade mullet. You know what I'm talking about? Like a clean cut mullet. That's what I want, okay? With a mustache, okay? Preferably a heavy, thick Southern accent. Okay. Body type, preferably not abs, preferably not stick thin, preferably like 180 to 200 pounds. Okay. And you gotta have nice eyes. They can be brown, blue. Okay. But here are the things that I need you to do with me from now until spring break. Okay, and this is what these are the requirements. Okay, so let me know before you sign up. Okay, you got to go to Boo Lights with me. You got to go to Zoo Lights, Pumpkin Patch. Okay, Thanksgiving, Christmas parties. Okay, you got to be committed to the bit. We did not meet on TikTok. Okay, we met at the fucking HEB. We met at HEB, and you saw me walking down the aisle, and you were like, God damn, gotta have that bitch, okay? You gotta make up the best story of your entire life. So if you want to be my temporary cuffing season boo, DM me the best way that you think that you would introduce me to someone and how you met me.
The way she talks about her requirements, even before dating someone, sounds less like romance and more like a job interview at minimum. I mean, women like this set unrealistic standards, treat commitment like it's a game, and just then act surprised when no one takes them seriously at all.
Something really horrible is happening to me because a few months ago, I was a hot, fun, single summer girly. I was live, laugh, loving with my friends every weekend. It was amazing. But now the weather's getting a little colder. I'm bringing my sweaters out. I'm staying in more. And the thought keeps crossing my mind, why don't I have a boyfriend? Because my life is currently so peaceful, and the only time recently I've had stress in my life was due to a man, okay? When there are no men in my life, I'm at peace. So why is my little winter brain going ding, ding, ding? It's that time. Let's get a man. Let's find a man. Let's bring him on board to your life. Let's cause some issues. And I've been trying to repress this feeling, but this weekend I was out with my friends and I saw this couple from across the bar, and they were like whispering to each other, giggling, just being really cute. And I said to my friends, wouldn't that be so nice to have somebody like that? Disgusting. A few months ago, the thought of giggling with a man in a bar would actually make me want to projectile vomit, but here I am, yearning. All I'm saying is that if you see me out and about on some dates this winter, mind your business, okay? It's not my fault. I'm cold. What is one supposed to do when they're cold? Get a boyfriend. That's the only solution. Winter Kelsey is just not on the same vibe as Summer Kelsey ever.
Well, for starters, if you're unable to really make up your mind on what you want, maybe it's better to stay single for the time being at least. I mean, a hyper-judgmental attitude is not the best practice if you're looking for a boyfriend. Seriously, I mean, as for keeping yourself warm in the winter, I mean, how about you just put on a sweater and just crack open a nice, hot, warm cocoa?
So today I was asked why I'm single, and the answer is very simple, okay? I am single by choice because if I wanted to be in a relationship, I could just make one phone call and that can change. But these days, these men have no self-control, no self-discipline. They have no courtship. They have no communication. And I'm not saying every man, I'm not saying that. But the men who seem to like want to talk to me just think that they could just be in my inbox and just boom, that's just what it is. No, that's not what it is for me, okay? I still believe in flowers, I still believe in dates, I still believe in gifts, I still believe in partnership, and that's just not out there in my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. And for me, I'd rather just stay single. I don't got time. Like every time I open up a social media app, the same person who is in my DMs are like on other females' posts and shit, and it's kind of hilarious. It doesn't make me mad because I honestly don't care, but it just proves a point to me that there's no self-discipline, or I mean, everybody's just for everybody, and I'm just not. So that's the answer.
When someone talks more about flowers and dates over love and care, it really says a lot about them. Yet somehow girls will still claim that men are the ones that are the issues. Now, men are the issues sometimes, but in these cases, girls really tend to, really take first lead on this case. I mean, nobody's perfect, but, maybe a moment to reflect on your own behavior before jumping back into dating is ideal.
It's getting to be that season where everybody's cuffed everywhere you look. Everywhere. Grocery store, gym, at your work, walking down the street, hand in hand, happy as can be. Probably gonna go home and lay in each other's arms, you sick freaks. Free me! I don't want to see it anymore! Happy for you guys, though.
Well, if you're happy for the other people, then why do you have such a condescending tone? I mean, like, it doesn't hurt to be happy for other people. It really is that simple. But hey, maybe just don't go to the gym, grocery store, or just out on the street if you're such a negative person.
Indeed, and no strings attached. Girl, who you playing with? Who you think you're kidding? You say no strings attached, and all of a sudden, next thing, you're Pinocchio. You got strings all attached to you. Oh, I just wanted to do... Oh, listen, you better watch it, man. That web gets strong. I know you think, like, I could just go up in there and get something. No, you get caught real quick. Next thing you know, you're swinging from the chandelier, doing somersaults, backflips, and cartwheels, and then figuring out how to keep that thing rolling. He's Donnie Wandy. He don't want to keep it rolling, so you better watch yourself. Don't do this if you ain't ready for this. Don't play with me. I don't want to hear you come back here talking about, well, I caught it, and then he led me. Sweet Jesus.
That's one way to say that you're not desperate. I mean, but ironically, it kind of sounds exactly like desperation. Avoiding commitment doesn't make you strong or really even independent. It just kind of makes things unstable between the two of you. And sadly, there's a lot of girls that do end up chasing that instability without realizing they're only wasting their time and others.
Hey, babe.
Yeah?
Why don't men ever make the first move anymore?
Because women want to be men.
No, we don't.
Well, you're so hyper-focused on being a man that men don't want to approach you anymore. It's gross. Men don't care about your independence or high-flying status. We want peace, not chaos that you bring with competition of trying to be better than what we are. We don't offer any value to you anymore if you can have whatever it is that you want. So, if you want to be approached by a man, then you need to learn how to be a woman.
Damn.
Social media reels have completely warped some women's minds. I mean, this is exactly the kind of behavior that they glorify. I mean, treating men not as partners or providers, but as rivals. The funny thing is that men aren't even really bothered by this so-called competition. I mean, in the end, it's just really their own loss.
It is winter, cuffing season. Chris, are you gonna find someone for the winter? Keep you warm in those cold nights?
No prospects, but then that's when everything gets messy.
What do you mean?
Wintertime.
Really?
I feel like people just try to grab onto anybody.
Yeah, I'm up for grabs. Someone grab me. Why is that bad? Don't you want a relationship?
I feel like people put on a lot.
You mean like puts on like she's letting
Like
it on
settle more quickly.
settle quickly?
Yeah.
So are you the slow burn type then?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know what I am. I'm picky as hell. Sophie, you jump headfirst into the shallow end. No. Yeah. I swim in the kiddie pool because I want things to be very surface until I can feel it's a Virgo thing. I have to think about it for 20 years until I can commit because I get nervous.
Notice the difference in how the guy calmly explains the situation versus how the girls respond. Men often bring a more grounded and thoughtful, kind of logical perspective to relationships, while there are girls today that seem to be a little bit more focused on finding the next guy just to avoid being alone and cold for a moment. Which, you know, just how it is, I guess.
I'm not looking for pity. This is the reality for some people sometimes. I know some of you will come into the comments and be like, why don't you go do this? Why don't you go do that? Why don't you call this person? Why do you call that person? I know how to do all those things. But sometimes you do all those things and this is what's left. I spend a lot of holidays alone, not on purpose. I do the phone calls, I do the things, I try to put it out there, but this is the reality of it. And now that I know it because I'm living it, I'm much gentler with other people. I'm much more careful when I ask them, what are you doing this holiday weekend? Because some people don't have things to do. And again, I want to be clear, it's not a pity party. It's the reality for so many people. I spent about an hour with a friend. Now I'm about to go into stores to look for something to fulfill me. And I'm too sad and I'll still be alone. And even if you were to present an opportunity to me right now to do something or be with someone, I'm literally in that state where I can't. It's just this crazy, I don't know what the purpose or point is of what I'm saying other than sometimes when you see somebody, don't assume they have their shit together. Don't assume it's picture perfect.
If you've got nothing to do over the holidays, maybe take that time to reflect on your own actions, right? I mean, just self-reflection is good. I mean, usually the people with the most negative outlooks who complain the loudest are who those people are. So if you don't really just want to be with someone or do something, that's fine. Just don't assume everyone else feels the same way as you do.
I'm 35 years old, I'm single, and I'm heading into my 12th consecutive holiday season flying solo. Let's talk about it. Not having found the thing yet means that you still have a lot to look forward to. And that is something that I really believe in and hold true to my heart. And if there's anyone else that's in their 30s that's struggling this holiday season, I just want you to know that you are not alone and there's nothing wrong with you. And it's okay to have a long single season of life. You know, I'm not at the bars. I'm not out clubbing. Like I probably stay in too much. That's probably a huge reason that I haven't met the person. So if you're a guy that's in his mid to late 30s that are watching this, that are also single, that also do not leave the house, but love movies and reading and traveling and maybe even want to have like a little homestead one day. I love to garden. I love to cook. I want to cook for someone so bad. You can like drop your name in the comments and maybe we can both get a little Christmas miracle.
She says she wants to do all these nice things for someone, but just hasn't met the right person yet. Maybe a bit of self-reflection wouldn't hurt here in this case, right? I mean, after all, you can't expect to find the right person if you never really put yourself out there to begin with. And, you know, if she's always staying home, well, chances are that the person isn't going to show up at her doorstep anytime soon.
This time of year is so lonely. God, and I hate that I'm like so emotional and crying because I've been doing so good. So a while, like, just happy and happy-go-lucky and just carefree and like confident and not letting things get to me. And then I was at work earlier, came home, haven't done much since I got home, and I was laying in bed because I just got really tired all of a sudden. And I just started thinking about last December, where I was in life, and falling in love for the first time. And I don't know, it just hit me. It just hit me out of nowhere. Sometimes I just wish that I just had someone, you know, to spend this time of year with and to do things with, and yeah, I don't know. A really great support system of friends and stuff, but you know, one of my best friends is planning her wedding and spending time with her fiance, which I support 100%, you know, and everyone else has their own families, and like I'm working a lot obviously, so it's hard to really do things, but yeah, I'm just lonely. And like tonight I have half the day off because I don't work tonight, and like there's no one to do something with, so I'm just at home, and I know I could go do something by myself, or I could go on a date or something because I'm on the dating app, so I'm sure I could find someone, but like I don't want to go on a date tonight.
She's feeling sorry for herself for being in the situation, but what is she actually doing to really change it? I mean, the holiday season's meant to be enjoyed with the people around you and not just spent sulking, right? You know, you're allowed to do that, but nothing's really going to get better. Life moves on, people get married, start families, and even move across the world, which is huge changes for people's lives. So you can't just sit there and expect things to magically get better just like that.
Okay, ladies, cuffing season is around the corner, and I need you to listen up. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, cuffing season is that period of time at the end of the summer, beginning of fall, where the bottom of the basket of men, especially on dating apps, or looking to lock down, lock up, whatever, get cuffed to a nice lady with whom they're gonna spend the winter and fight loneliness all the way until the next good season out of spring, summer, where they're gonna let you down to go enjoy Summerfest. So here are a few ground rules that you must follow to avoid falling in the trap of cuffing season. Number 1, you will not give a try to that person towards whom you feel ambivalent just because you don't want to be lonely. We both know that regardless of the quality of that man, you are going to develop feelings, you are going to settle for the bare minimum, you are going to let a lot of red flags fly by, and by the end of spring, when he's going to dump your ass, because he will, you will cry over somebody you wouldn't even have looked at. So do yourself a favor, don't. No, you are not going to let that hookup settle down in your apartment and live with you over winter, even if he pulls out the magics of, oh, I've never felt this way before. Oh, your place looks so nice. Oh, no, compliments should not work on you for a rando to move in with you and live upon you for the whole winter. So quit your Mother Teresa costume and think about yourself first. And finally, even though I know you don't like it, you bond over S. So please spend some time learning how to take care of yourself instead of fantasizing about someone who will not even make you come.
This is such a terrible assumption to make, that a guy is going to use you for a few months and then dump you when spring comes about. I mean, women always think about the negative scenarios, at least a lot of the time, and wonder why things end up going badly. It's almost like you breathe that negativity and speak it into fruition, for lack of better words. It's not really the other people, it's kind of just what you're projecting onto yourself and your situation.
Top reasons why men aren't approaching women in 2025. For one, low testosterone levels. Men's testosterone levels are the lowest they've ever been because of diet, exercise, all these factors, not living healthy lifestyles, and testosterone is what gets men to be motivated to go and ask a girl out. Two is dating apps. Dating apps has made it way too easy for men to think that they have access to women. It gives them this like false hope, and it makes it so easy for them to just go on their phone and take the easy way out. Next is consuming too much online adult content. It is getting really scary when men just go on their phones and can instantly have access to all sorts of material. Why would they even go out and court a girl if they don't need to? Girls do not make this any easier. Girls are not approachable. Men are terrified of being called creeps or making a girl uncomfortable, so a lot of them just don't do it.
She forgot to mention that it's not just low testosterone. It's also how girls treat men nowadays. It's all they want is someone who can help provide for them, participate, and just be there along with them through the process. It's when a guy asks for some of his needs to be fulfilled and then there's no reciprocation, it would be the best to mention this in your next video, right? You know, just talk on that topic a little bit.
Guys don't approach girls at the bars anymore.
I do.
I don't expect guys to come up to me, but I know the caliber of my friends and I know what those look like, and they are some stunning. If guys aren't going up to them, guys aren't going up to fucking anyone. So I think if you're going up to girls at the bar in the first place, whether you say hi, whether you say, can I buy you a drink, whether you use Nick's line, which is a great line, by the way.
Thank you.
I think you have a million times better of a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
you really don't have all that much competition because guys aren't going up to girls. It's not like 15 guys are going up to a girl in a night to tell her how pretty she is. She probably gets one a night.
First, they tell men to leave them alone. And then they complain that no one approaches them. Does that make any sense to you? If it does, let me know in the comment section, but it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, things will keep being this way until women just start being a little bit more understanding and stop settling for unrealistic expectations for the very guys who are actually trying to make an effort. You know, you got to stop setting those high standards.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work, because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
That's probably some of the worst advice you could possibly give someone in today's dating scene. I mean, the reason men hesitate to take risks anymore is that so many women just seem to be very emotionally closed off. I mean, most guys would rather avoid the partial headache of it all rather than deal with the stress that comes with simply approaching the girl and having to deal with all the negative repercussion.
Ladies, why do some men refuse to be in a relationship even if they found a great woman in their life? I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Some men have been through so much shit, or they've been in a long-term relationship before, or they just seen too much weird shit that girls have done, that they just, you know, they rather just be by themselves. And another reason is this, is that a lot of guys like the idea of a relationship. They can, you know, this girl could be great, you know what I'm saying, hold them down, but they just don't like all the extra shit that comes with being in a relationship. Because men, we like freedom. We like to do what we want, when we want, how we want, whenever the fuck we want. And women tend to try to control that too much. Like, women do come with a lot of baggage. They come with a lot of emotional distress. They come with insecurities. They come with trying to control everything you do. You know, they like to do a lot of, like, the little things that, like, men don't really give a fuck about. And a lot of men just don't want to deal with the stress of trying to read a woman's mind and all that extra weird shit, you know?
I've got to kind of agree with this guy in this one. I mean, women who try to control men never do any good. I mean, that's just plain and simple. I think anyone can agree with that. Men value their freedom, and so do women. So once a woman starts to really try to put limits on that, things do go downhill pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Especially when you're really controlling every aspect of that person's life. So that's exactly why so many guys would rather stay single than deal with someone who tries to control every aspect of their life.
It's cuffing season for seemingly everybody, except for me. Another one bites the dust. I don't know if I'm ever gonna find somebody or let somebody find me in that capacity. And I'm seeing all these people from my past or people that I know getting into relationships, and I'm really happy for them. I think that's cool that they're moving in that direction and that they're seemingly finding their footing in solid partnerships. And I've got a lot of time on my hands to do some reflecting on what I want and how I'm showing up and what's going to fit into my life. And I think that partnership would be awesome, but I don't want to be on dating apps. And I work in, right now, woman-dominated field other than whenever I'm on set. And I haven't met anybody on set that I really want to pursue. And then I do things like I rock climb. I've met some cool climbers, but typically they're not very long-fledged relationships. And then I run, which is pretty solitary. Other than that, I live alone. So being in my 30s and just even the thought of like, where do I go? I don't really want to go out and party. I know I'm not going to find my person at a bar. And I've really just thought about maybe I need to leave this scene. I've been dating in Austin for 10 years. I moved here 10 years ago and I've been dating and I've had some really great relationships in that time. But maybe this just ain't my spot. I don't think that I'm the only person in the entire world that's not ever meant to have love and relationship and partnership. And I'm cool with being alone, but damn, can I catch a break? Can I just manifest the honey that I'm into, that's into me, that we are growing together and evolving and, ooh, sweet, sweet, passionate romance and fire and chemistry and creativity and love? It's not too much to ask for, I don't think.
Changing where you live or blaming your career for not finding the right person is just absolute nonsense. I mean, if you truly want to meet someone, you've got to put yourself out there. You have to get out. You can't just exist in your little bubble inside your house. I mean, it's just not a fairy tale. I mean, Prince Charming isn't going to just magically show up at your door one day.
Hey guys, I know everyone's like, hey, it's cuffing season, woohoo. It's crash out season. I don't know about any of you bitches, but me personally, when this time of year hits, I always have some type of absolute mental breakdown. Without fail, every year. I honestly think it's like the seasonal depression mixing with the regular depression, and then you just got super amplified depression, and then boom, crash out. Because like, I don't know about you, but it makes me real upset when I wake up and it's dark, and I get out of class and it's dark, and it's always dark, and the world sucks. See, that's how I look at this. And so that's probably, it just makes it worse. Maybe I should get some vitamin D. That might be the solution. But yeah, so it's crash out season. I'm crashing out right now. I don't know how y'all are doing. I hope it's better. But if it's not, welcome to the club.
That's a lot of words just to say you're lonely. But if you're really feeling down, just try therapy, focus on things you enjoy, distract yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do. It doesn't always have to just turn into, you know, a pity party, I guess, for lack of better words. Every time you feel alone, you know, you don't need to worry about it. You'll get there.
Do you date younger women?
Oh. Less trauma, less emotional baggage.
So you like to have the younger girls that are like fresh and undamaged?
To see if there's long-term potential, yeah.
How much younger do you date?
8 years has been like the biggest gap.
How old are you?
32.
Okay. Would you ever date an older woman?
No.
Why not?
I've tried that, and there's just too much. There's too much baggage. The way she would communicate was a little challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having a conversation in person, she'd like to like send like a whole novel or paragraph.
Oh, well, that's weird. I don't know if that's an older woman thing or just a crazy woman thing.
I don't know. It's just my experience.
So do you have like age limits set on dating apps?
Probably 27 would be the oldest.
And women your own age still not good?
All the ones my age who are really good have been taken.
Do your friends feel the same way?
Definitely. Well, it's a little more challenging for older women because you do have like a clock that's racing against you.
Right, if you want children, yeah.
You want children, yeah.
What are you looking for in a woman, in a girl?
Oh, cares about family, emotionally mature, maybe a more like traditional value too.
Trad wife. You like women?
Of course. Look, women are the most beautiful people in the world.
This guy's clearly just looking out for himself, and no one can blame him for that. You know, older women these days, it can be a little bit full of themselves. I guess, you know, independence, right? But with expectations dialed up to 20. So it's just a little bit better to stay away from all that drama. At least I feel for most people. Not everyone, but most people, I feel.
Where are the rugged looking men? I want a man who literally looks like he hasn't showered in 4 weeks, maybe even 5 weeks. I want a man who literally, his hair, it's all over the place. He's just got out of bed. He hasn't touched his hair in literally 2 years. And that is my kind of man. I want a man who looks like he's been dragged through a bush, but in a cute way, okay? Y'all won't get it if you don't get it. I'm trying to find a rugged man who, yes, is hygienic. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to stink, but I want you to look like you stink. Does that make sense? My type is a man who looks like he stinks, but he doesn't. He actually smells like sweet tulips and fresh basil, okay? I want the man who looks like he's been dragged through a bush. That
is something a man cannot quite encapsulate if he doesn't have the charm. If you have the charm, you have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So where are the rugged men at?
If that's the kind of man that you're after, then you might as well be looking for a caveman. It's the same old story, right? You know, you have a girl choosing looks over character, you know, and we've seen the movie play out so many times. It always ends the same way. Again, there are exceptions to the rule, but usually it's going to turn out that way.
This is where I feel frustrated, is where I just think that it just doesn't make sense to me how women are not being asked out on dates. Like, there are so many beautiful women, like, come on, like, just shoot your shot. But a lot of the things that the guys were telling me, and these were guys from the ages of like 19 to 40, was like, no, we don't want to intimidate a woman. If we see them on the street, like, we'll cross the road so that they feel safe.
I do that.
No, we don't want to come across creepy. So I do see that obviously culture has really like removed this from the man, this kind of like the art of the chase. And then that, I think, in effect, is making more men passive.
A lot of this has to do with, of course, feminism, but the hashtag #MeToo movement. The level of awareness on sexual harassment, which is a good thing, the awareness needed to be there, but there has been such a level of overcorrection, so much to the point that even a man just approaching you on the street is harassment. And the issue what a lot of men see is you can have two guys do the exact same approach, one's harassing her and one is received well. And the only difference is that she sees one as being attractive.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but that's not really fair.
It's not fair, but for a lot of good men, they're like, okay, well, the only way I'm going to know if you find me attractive is if I approach you. But if I get it wrong and you don't, that's a harassment case. So for a lot of men, it's like, it's not worth the risk.
She really thinks it's as easy as it sounds. I mean, I hate to burst anyone's bubble here, especially yours, but guys can't just shoot their shot like that nowadays, especially in the big 25. I mean, that's just not how most women work. I mean, if a man is not rich or attractive, it is like 99% of the time an instant no, and that's just about as real as it gets.
What do you hate the most about dating?
Men don't put in any effort.
No effort. They just expect us to just have everything ready, and they have no plan ever.
Like, buy me flowers.
Yes.
Buy me coffee.
Come to my house and bring me coffee, and let's go out on a date. Doesn't have to be crazy, but just plan something.
Yeah.
So these guys that you're talking about, have you already slept with them?
Yes.
Don't you think that maybe you just, gave it up a little bit too easy, so he's like, why do I have to put in any effort for it?
Well, how do we change that? Are you gonna give me some advice?
By making him wait? Or finding a guy who, is down to fuck, but also build something too.
Well, I don't know where to find them.
So is it that men aren't interested in doing these things, or are you just, choosing the wrong men?
No, I think
both.
Yeah, both. They're lazy.
Yeah.
Do you like good guys though, or do you want somebody who's gonna treat you like shit?
Good guys.
50-50.
She's different than me.
50-50.
I don't like the whole treat a woman like shit and that's the way to get her. I'm not a fan of that.
So why do you keep chasing the guys who aren't really chivalrous with you?
I don't know. I don't know.
We needed this wake-up call.
Why is that a thing?
You know what's funny? It's always buy me this or buy me that, and it's never, hey, let me do something nice for you, right? There's a lot of girls out there that will say men are the problem, but honestly, it's more about having them forgotten what it means to give back the same kind of kindness that they expect. What you give is what you get. That's just always a good rule of thumb. What you give is what you get.
Stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi. How many more times is that going to happen? How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, oh my gosh.
No one's telling you to meet someone out in the wild. I mean, you're the one assuming that. And the way that this person explained it, it's just really not that simple. I mean, these days, if a guy makes the first move, most of the time he's instantly labeled weird or a creep or just turned down. But honestly, I mean, what's the point in even trying? For at least most of men, right? At least most of them.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments.
These numbers really do exist for a reason. After divorce, it's just way too easy for women to take a man's hard-earned money and walk away without even looking back. Some cases, I mean, you get married and they get divorced soon after, and half of everything he's built, gone. Yes. It does make sense why men are cautious now. You know, prenups and everything. They've gotten smarter, more alert, and can kind of tell pretty quickly when something just isn't built to last. So you can't fault them for that. You really can't.
You know what the funniest thing about so many men is nowadays? So many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only going to waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
More than anything, men are just tired. You know, modern women keep giving them the same kind of runarounds, and it's just exhausting. Men want a woman who just brings peace, and that's really it at the end of the day. But lately, it's kind of been the complete opposite of that.
Cuffed spelled backwards is D-fuck, and D-fuck I look like letting you play me. Alright, let's calm down, stop being offended, and figure out what he means. This is actually smart. Let me explain. So a girl sees a guy that she's attracted to, but what no one's telling you, most girls are insecure, as most guys are. So because the girl's insecure, she's looking for her own value that she cannot see in the other person. And because in her eyes, that person is higher value than she is, because he has sex with her, but then he ghosts her for a while, she stays attracted to him. But as soon he catches feelings and he gets in a relationship with her, he loses value in her eyes. Because she doesn't think she has a lot of value. So the moment he starts liking her, she thinks there must be something wrong with him because he likes her. So now he's cuffed, but she starts being an asshole to him.
It actually makes a lot of sense the way he puts it. You know, girls tend to act carefree when it benefits them, but the moment a guy expresses interest, they switch into defense mode and act like they're too good for him. You know, it's, again, exceptions to the rules, so just please keep that in mind. I understand that, but it's a tiring, just never-ending cycle, it seems. Like a majority of the time, it kind of seems that that's the case, right?
Are you serious? Who is this bitch?
Are you seriously following me on my dates?
You're on a date? Are you serious? That's why you stopped texting me, right?
Stop answering. You never message me back.
That doesn't mean you have to stop texting me. If you like me, of course you need to text me all the time, but why you stop texting me?
You never liked me, so I just decided it's better for me to move on.
Move on? This is why I say men are trash. Like, I just don't understand. Men are horrible. You guys are just player.
So what do you want me to do then?
You should keep texting me. Keep texting me. Wait until the day that I feel bored and I'm gonna text you back, and finally I'm gonna go out with you.
Oh, typical.
Like, I don't answer doesn't mean that I'm not interested. Sometimes I have like all the situation going on, but one day I'm gonna answer you, and when I answer you, it's your chance.
Okay, I'll text you later then.
No! I'm going with you. Hi, girl.
They'll crave attention from men, but the moment that attention shifts elsewhere, they suddenly become desperate, for lack of better words. I mean, all the back and forth, it gets exhausting. I mean, it's exactly why a lot of men are choosing to stay away from toxic relationships and just toxic people altogether nowadays. But besides that, hopefully you haven't really had to deal with anything toxic. But if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this in the future so you don't miss out. And also, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay strong.